Welcome to episode 25 of Something to Talk About.
25 years old.
Quarter of a century.
Quarter of a century.
You may notice we're a little bit earlier than usual. It's a proper morning show now.
Yeah. Well, some of us are going on a fun vacation.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you guys tuning in early.
Yes, I'm leaving the South, so I won't even tell you where.
No, it's not as good as
but it rhymes with Schmas Vegas.
But it's not the South.
No, it's not.
But you're going to have fun. But that's fine.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, we have a bunch of good stories for you today. I think Abigail is kicking us off.
I'm going to kick us off with an Alabama story, which we have a couple of today.
We do. Alabama's coming in strong this week.
And you said earlier we might be a little bit biased.
Yeah, we are based in Birmingham, so what can you do?
It's a good state.
It is.
All right, so to kick us off, this first story is not surprising, but also really fun. So there is an Alabama groom who actually stripped down on the beach to save a drowning teenager during his wedding photos.
Amazing.
So let me just let that sit with y'all for a second. Zach and Cindy Edwards, they actually planned their wedding in less than a week, so they kind of imagined it to be casual.
Props to them, a week. Wow.
Goodness, I can't imagine.
No.
But they're getting married at Ocean Beach. And Zach is a former lifeguard and Coast Guardsman.
Which is just really lucky when you think about it.
Yeah, honestly.
You know, that's really glad that
they were there at that time.
Exactly.
So after their wedding, they were taking the post-ceremony photos, and this woman came up to them and said a boogie boarder had actually been washed out to sea. And the riptides lately in the Gulf have been pretty bad. Like, there have been some pretty bad instances with that. So there's red flags up on the beach, but some folks didn't heed the warnings of the beach signs, which y'all should always do.
Yes, listen to the warnings, people.
Listen to the warnings. So all of the lifeguards were out helping other people. And so this woman comes over and is saying, like, there's a guy out there who's struggling. It's really bad. He can't get back. And so Cindy told her brand new husband, she looked at him, she was like, well, obviously you have to go. And I thought it was so funny. They reported this back to a local news station, and Zach was telling them, like, his new wife of 10 minutes is like, don't worry about your pants, like, you just need to go because it's getting worse and worse. And he said, you have to listen to your wife or obviously you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
So they're very lighthearted about this whole situation.
Really.
So anyway, he takes off and he starts taking his shirt off. He went to take his bottoms off, and Cindy was like, you don't have time to do that. He's just drifting out farther. And so Zach went out and rescued this young man who's 18-year-old Jamel Robinson. They were both stuck fighting these waters in the Gulf, so it is pretty choppy out there. But Zach says the whole time he was out there, all he could think about was his wife standing in the surf in her wedding gown and was like, I don't want you to ruin your wedding gown. Standing in the surf, and he's bleeding, his nose was bleeding, and he was trying to tell her, get away, I don't want any blood to get on you.
Yeah.
The fact that 10 minutes after their wedding, he is just concerned about his wife standing there in her wedding gown and has also rescued an 18-year-old.
Right.
Is a pretty heroic way to start your marriage.
Yeah. She even said hero and hubby in the same day.
Hero and hubby, indeed.
It's a great way to kick off a marriage, if you ask me. Serving other people, they're set up for life, I think.
Yeah, the ultimate act of courage.
And it'll be a great story to tell the grandkids.
Oh, for sure. Guess what happened to us on our wedding day?
That's
saved
awesome.
lives.
I love that story.
All right, Jorie, what's next?
Oh my gosh, this story. It's pretty simple, but big news, folks. Miss Carrie Underwood, one of our favorites, is having another baby.
Baby number 2.
Yes, we're very excited. We've all, I think, kind of been not expecting it, but kind of hoping she'll have another one soon. Her current son, Isaiah, is 3 years old, and she just said that the family is super happy to welcome another fish to their little pond, which I think is so cute.
It's so sweet.
Yeah, she announced it on Instagram Wednesday, so yesterday, and just kind of gave some info about her upcoming album, which comes out next month, and her tour that's going to be happening next year. And then the camera zoomed out, and the word baby was written above her. She's like, if you're wondering why our tour is starting a little later than you would hope, and she pointed out to the sign.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so they're really excited. A lot of guys know Carrie's had kind of a hard year. Because last November she had fallen down the stairs when she was walking her dogs, had to get 40 to 50 stitches in her face and has had kind of a rough year, and she's come out and said that. So this is just kind of like, you know, a little blessing in the midst of like, you know, some struggles. So
a bright spot for her and her husband, Mike Fisher,
Mike
of
Fisher,
the Nashville Predators.
Yes, so
recently unretired from the NHL. He's coming back. So
I'm secretly hoping it's a little girl this time.
wouldn't that be so
It
sweet?
would be so cute. She'll be a fantastic singer like her mom.
I
Or
love
maybe an awesome hockey player.
Or both.
Or both, yeah.
Look out for this new sensation.
Yeah. Coming up to Hot 2019.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, I think the like fish pun is really fun. The
Yeah.
Fishers are adding another fish to their pond.
I did not even catch that.
It's very cute.
Yeah, it's
All right, one of my personal favorite stars, and also sports related, Peyton Manning, former University of Tennessee quarterback, one of my true loves. He recently adopted an abused puppy, and it was found at a fair with a rope around its neck in Mississippi. And so that sounds like a really long headline, so let's break that down for y'all. So two-time Super Bowl champion, obviously, this abused puppy. So rescue workers with the Annual Rescue Fund saved a 2-pound puppy from the carnival workers. They found it being kept in a garbage bag with a rope around its neck. She's covered in fleas and parasites, which we have a ton of questions about.
yeah.
Why there was
Abby and I
puppy
are hoping someone was
at
arrested.
the fair with
Yeah.
a rope around its neck. So the Animal Rescue Fund took her to the vet, cleaned her up, gave her a good meal, and she entered foster care. And then Peyton Manning's family came and saw her and just fell in love with her and adopted her. So now she will be living a larger than life experience with the superstar Manning family.
Yes, it's the ultimate rags to riches story.
It is. And it reminds me of our other good friend, Guy the Beagle, that we talked about a couple months ago. Meghan Markle's adopted Kentucky puppy that now lives in Buckingham Palace.
Now lives in the palace, yeah. I mean, you know what? Never give up, though.
We're happy for her, and I can't wait for them to let us know what they named this puppy.
Yeah, this is a great
Hoping
story.
for Puppy Rocky, or Puppy Rocky Top, or Puppy
Stop.
Go Balls.
Puppy Go Balls. Next up, you guys, this might be in my top 5 favorite stories I've ever talked about.
This is a good one.
This is so funny. So we all love Costco, right? They have the best cold brew coffee I've been able to.
Do they really?
Yes, I forget the brand, but it's boxed cold brew coffee.
Okay.
It's delicious. All my newer friends introduced me to it. But we all love the free samples, right? You can walk around Costco while you're shopping.
Sunday lunch.
Yeah. Oh gosh. And you just pick up all these different samples, you get to try tons of things. So this is actually a story about 2 senior citizens, one 72-year-old, one 70-year-old, and they just went to Costco to shop and get their free samples. And this fight broke out all over a cheese cube, guys. So if you love cheese like me, you could understand it. So the younger man, the 70-year-old, this all took place in Greenville, South Carolina. He was just waiting in line, to get his complimentary cheese cube, okay? And this other the younger man was like, you know what, I'll let it go. Didn't say anything. A few minutes later, he's in line for a little cheeseburger bite. and we all love our cheeseburgers too. The same guy starts walking up, and the 70-year-old turns to him kind of like snarkily and says, well, why don't you just go in front of me, because I know you're going to cut anyway. Guys, I would have paid good money to see this altercation.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I will do it again. You're a jerk. And so from that point, it even got worse. The troublemaking 72-year-old then hit the 70-year-old right on the side of his head, sending his hat and his glasses flying across Costco.
This is a true story. I just feel like we need to underline
There was a police report and everything.
2 7-year-olds fist fighting in Costco.
Over a cheese cube. I love it. So anyway, there was a police report. No one has been arrested yet. But apparently, the older man said that he thought the younger guy was balling his fist. It was going to hit him first, which I think is unlikely. Unlikely. But anyway, that's all we know as of now.
Yeah, I think honestly my favorite like added detail to this story is that in the account to the police, the 70-year-old confirmed that the 72-year-old was wearing a Hawaiian shirt. And I just feel like that is like such a specific detail, but can you imagine now this Hawaiian shirt clad man, the other man's bucket hat goes flying. It's just all too much.
I could almost see my Papa McDonald saying something like, I will do it again, you jerk.
More cheeseburgers for me.
Yeah. People are passionate about their cheeses, so
Goodness.
stay safe out there, everyone.
Yeah.
Don't cut in line.
Don't cut in line. And yeah, that's rude. Don't cut in line.
Rude.
Let everyone get their cheese sample.
Yeah, you'll get yours.
All right, we're coming back to Alabama for this next story.
Hashtag awkward.
It is definitely, if you're of the awkward turtle generation. An Alabama woman who lives here in Birmingham, she was attempting to surprise her husband at the Atlanta airport with a flash mob, and it did not quite go as she hoped it would. Because these things only really work in Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
So she's an attorney. Her name's Lindsay Eastwood. She's actually a friend of one of our staffers.
Yes.
She set out to surprise her husband, John. He had just gotten approval for his immigration visa. John is from Wales. And so the couple got married in July of 2017, but it's been now a full year before he's been able to move to the States to be with his wife. And so although she planned this flash mob very elaborately for John in the airport, his flight actually got canceled in New York and he was stranded overnight. And so she had coordinated this group of singers and dancers to do this mashup of Coming to America, I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles, At Last, I Knew You Were Waiting, and Welcome Home in the Terminal. Like a ton of dancers. And obviously, John, not coming to the airport because he's stranded in New York, FaceTimes Lindsay, and Lindsay is like, the show must go on, I've hired all these people. So they performed this via FaceTime for her husband,
and guys, you can check this out, but there's a video of someone videoing Lindsay videoing the flash mob to show her new husband. And it's just so awkward. I'm like, you know what, I would have taken my losses and sent the dancers home.
She posted this on Facebook and she wrote with it, when you plan a surprise flash mob for your husband and his flight is canceled, John is stuck in JFK where he will be sleeping tonight. Please like the video to make me feel better.
Give her some likes, y'all.
Give her some likes. So his application was completed like right before their wedding too, but it's taken this long to get it. And we do have confirmation that John has made it to Birmingham. He is back in the States with his new wife. Probably did not have another flash mob when he made it to Alabama, but it's the thought that counts.
It is a thought that counts. I think that's the moral of this story.
Yeah.
And flash mobs are never a good idea.
Yes, unless you're Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis.
That is great. That scene made me cry.
Anyway, go like Lindsay's video.
Yes. Last but not least, it's completely unrelated. We all know Little Big Town, the country group that's currently touring with Brandon Lambert.
Boondocks.
Yes, it's a great song. Like Boondocks, like Better Man. Yeah, some good stuff.
Good stuff.
So recently they were robbed, but have no fear, don't fret. It turns out that the thieves, they stole an entire trailer, which they thought was going to be full of expensive music equipment, vintage guitars and things like this. Turns out it was full of kids' toys, which I think is so funny. So it had kids' razor scooters, 3 bikes, a homemade lemonade stand, a unicorn kiddie pool, sprinklers, pool toys, bubbles, all these kinds of things. So I just would have loved to see the thieves' faces. They opened up the trailer door and saw like a whole trailer full of kids' toys.
Used kids' toys, not even new kids' toys.
Yeah, they don't even need, or probably don't need.
Including this unicorn.
Yeah, so that's really the whole story. Little Big Town just, kind of taking it the best way they can and just said karma's a funny thing because the thieves did not get anything worth their time, honestly.
Yeah.
We
wanted an old bike.
Abby and I were talking about it. We actually don't know why Little Big Town had a trailer full of kids' toys. We don't know if it was like for a drive or a donation or if it was their
Maybe
kids'
their
stuff.
kids, yeah.
I don't know. No telling. But We have no idea.
Well, don't steal things.
Don't steal things is the moral of that story, folks.
Yeah, honestly.
Especially from our country music stars, okay? They're just trying to give the world their music.
I agree.
Anyway, that's all we have for you this week.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Yes.
You guys can read all of these stories in their entirety in the comments below after our broadcast. We'll post them there for you.
Yep.
And leave us a comment where you're from. We'll comment back.
We love
like to
comment back.
comment.
Yeah.
We like reading your
And
comments.
tune in next week. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Thursdays at 3 p.m.